Hello viewers and welcome to the eSeniors GT3 Championship. Just sorry about that delay. We're just trying to sort nobble Mr. Moses a little bit. He's a little bit too quick there. So yeah, just trying to nobble him a little bit. I'll put a rear restrictor on him because he's a bit too quick. If that doesn't work, I'll nobble him even further. So just a quick update to the table. I know Jeremy gave that out before to the racers themselves, but this is the top 10. So Johan Larsson is leading. He's in the McLaren. Melvin Garland, Martin Bale and Peter are all in BMWs. Richard McKay is in 5th place in the Porsche. So that's the first Porsche. But it is dominated by the BMWs. Now, I don't think this is a BMW track, but we'll see how it goes in relation to the race itself. Let's have a quick update to where we're into in relation to the schedule. So from a schedule perspective, you can see we've had 4 races. We're into the second part, almost the second part of the season at Suzuka, and obviously the Group 1 guys will be racing the same tomorrow. So what we'll do is I'll go back to the live stream, and we'll pick up qualification. So as I said, I've had to hinder a driver by putting a restrictor on him a little bit. That's deliberate because he seemed to be a lot quicker, and I did say to him when he joined, you look like a Group 1 driver based on your times, but I think he just wanted to get out on track. But obviously we can't have him dominating like that. His time and his scores won't matter because he's obviously a cut above everybody else. I've got with me in the booth today is Jonathan.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hopefully you can all hear us clearly. Just a quick hello to the stream. Got Frank, got Mikhail, got Steve, Terry, Jorgen, Andy and Derek. Unfortunately, for some reason, when I try the eSeniors YouTube, it will not do 4K, even though my own was earlier today. So unfortunately, you're only watching it in 1080p 60 frames per second. It still looks great, don't get me wrong.
So it looks amazing, mate. It looks beautiful.
It does. It looks really smooth. So yeah, quite happy with that. So I was talking about nobbling a driver there. So Chris Moses has joined us. I think he joined us quite early on in the season actually, but never got a chance to race. I think work commitments, and I did allocate him as a Group 1 racer. He can't race tomorrow, unfortunately, so consequently he's gone on track today. Now I have put a 10% restrictor on him, which basically means his car's 10% down on power at the end. So what that means is potentially it might even him up a little bit if it still doesn't work. Hold on, I'll come back to a second, Krista. If it still doesn't work, I might even apply ballast because obviously don't really want him walking away with it if he's meant to be Group 1. Hi Don, hi Andreas. Looks like the point table you showed did not show the spa points. Oh, did it not, Krista? All right. You know, I did all these at the beginning of the week as well. Oh, David's saying he's watching in 4K. All right, okay. Thanks, David. Somehow you've managed to get it because no one else can. Hi, Paul. Paolo, sorry. Good afternoon. So what I'll do is they're coming round now. I think they're getting the first couple of laps in. I'm going to pick a driver. Unbelievably, none of the drivers are going quicker. I'm going to pick on Mr. Forrest. So Mr. Forrest, as you can see, he's coming up towards the final corner, up to the chicane, and then we'll go on board with Kev Forrest. So Kev Forrest was a Group 1 driver. And
Terry's asking for 10% extra power for tomorrow's race. You and me too, both, Terry. I think I'm fucking struggling as well.
Nope. He's you're not getting 10%. I'm just worried now. If I set it correctly, so he actually is getting hindered and not increased him. Oh no, don't.
That would be great, mate.
No.
Well, if he gets a sub 2 minute lap, we know exactly.
No, so basically I've applied 10%, which results in roughly 10% less horsepower at maximum RPM. That sounds fair, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it does sound particularly fair.
Yeah. So this section of the track where we're on board with Kevin. Kevin's done a 2029. This is the one about getting the car balance right. If you get the balance right through here, you can gain so much time. This corner, you want to be getting your foot down into the corner so the car drifts onto the curb but not onto the grass, and you can gain tenths coming up here You're baking around the 50 marker, cutting the corner, keeping the car balanced, then braking hard into second gear, and again get the power down as much as you can here. Flying down into the braking marker, just usually at the end of the curbing or just after the curbing based on the car, and then you're trying to take the apex as close as possible to get the power down coming out, so you can set yourself up for spoon. So far so good, it's looking good. He is actually dead on time with his old lap. Larson's looking really good as well, so Larson's done a 2:02.3.
Yeah, I think you're going to need to hobble Chris a little bit more, mate.
He's only 2:03 out. Oh yeah, I can see that now.
He is, but he's up by over a second.
Right.
So he's going to be he'll be in the 2:01s.
Right.
And this is his first lap, so yeah.
So does the restrictor work?
I'm actually learning a few things from watching his lap, because I struggle, for example, here at Spoon Curve, and he just got the most amazing exit, and now he's a second and 3/4 up on his previous time.
He's a bit
so
too quick there.
He's still in the low 2:01. So I actually think this guy is a little bit of an alien.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit. Yeah, he's a little bit quick.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I am going to nobble him. I'm going to maximum I can apply is 20%. So I can only apply 20%, so I might do that.
This should be a 2:01.7, I believe.
Yeah, Larson's looking quick.
2:01.2, hello.
Yeah, but Larson's going even faster. Larson's on a 2:01.1. Yeah, Larson's lost a bit of time, but he was looking quick. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to nobble him further. So I'm just going to go into the game, everyone on the stream, and I'm going to nobble him even further. So give me a second, okay? He's car number 36, maximum 20%.
Yeah, great lap from Larson, a 2:01.7.
Yeah, he'll be getting told him say I've been nobbled here, and they'll be saying, yeah, he's nobbling me deliberately. No, it didn't. Well, it did, Terry, but I think he's that quick. In fact, I'm going to let Chris know. I'm going to put in the chat. Chris, you are too quick. Group 1, I have restricted you to the max. There you go. So at least he knows why he can't go so fast anymore.
Yeah, but he's still going to take pole position.
We'll see. We'll see.
I think that's one of the problems we've got here. It's a little bit too late.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're obviously we're commentating live on this, but I would.
I could put ballast on him as well.
As a commentator, I would just say, hey, you know what, mate? Why don't you race with us tomorrow in Group 1?
I don't think he could tomorrow. He did ask. I don't think he can make tomorrow. That's why he said, I just want to get on track with you guys. So I thought I thought he was Group 1, but I didn't think he was that fast, to be honest. Right, so let's jump on board with Mark Stevens. So Mark Stevens is in it. There's a lot of guys in the 202s, you know.
There are.
So, I know you say 201 looks good, but I think 202s, I think I said 202s, 203s yesterday. So this is looking pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, from P3 to P10,
yeah,
we've got 0.4 of a second.
Stevens has just gone third with a 202.3, so really putting in some of these drivers now. I was on track before with Mike Dealove, who we're on board with now, and he is quick. He's looking pretty quick as well. So I think he's gonna come good.
Nikos just joined the chat. Hey Nikos, how you doing, man?
Hi Nikos. Yeah, Andreas. I had the same settings as I had on my own YouTube earlier with a high rating, and it worked fine. For some reason, as soon as I switched over to the eSeniors one, it's not running the same. So I don't know if there's a difference in the way the YouTube account's set up. That's something I need to look into, because it was exactly the same as what I was doing this morning on my own YouTube account, and that worked perfectly and flawlessly. At least it's still 1080p 60, so it still looks good, to be fair. I might deal of going a bit deep there. That's going to be a spoilt lap. and he was looking good as well. We'll go on board with Kai. And Kai's going to spoil lap as well. Whatever you can do, I can do too. Andrew, they're coming down the straight in the McLaren. He's 3/10 up. It's going to make him a 2:03.4 this. So let's see how he does. Yeah, Moses is a new guy. I did look at his times and suggest he was a Group 1 guy, Nikos. But he couldn't race tomorrow and he just wanted to get on track with us. So what I've done, I've applied a restrictor of 20%, so he's 20% down on power. And I'm just going to... I'm still looking at his times and either the restrictor doesn't work or he's absolutely like lightning. I'd love to see him up against the likes of you, Kaola, Bourne.
Well, he beat me. He beat me hands down.
Maybe it's one of them where he doesn't want to race with the fast guys because potentially of actually I'm not going to win. No, he's not as quick. He's not as quick now. His car's been nobbled, so I think it might have just evened it up. Yeah, I've added I've put 20% restrictor on him, Owen, as well. So I'm half contemplating. Yeah, he's losing time now. He's losing time, so I think the restrictor's now starting to pay a price. Although it's not paying that much.
Can he delete his fastest lap like they do in F1?
You can't. But I'm half thinking of putting another 100 kilos of ballast on him. he's not slowing down.
Do you think he's wearing fireproof underwear?
I have no idea. I'm trying to think, what shall we give him for ballast? Because he's still going quick. Right, I'm gonna apply ballast to him as well. Okay. So, I know you can all see this, but I'm gonna apply ballast to him. He's car 36, and I'm gonna apply. Oh, there you go. I can imagine him going down the straight and all of a sudden this. Oh, what's happened to all my speed?
He's literally got a parachute.
In fact,
deployed as he goes down.
His speed's just started dropping.
That's great. That's Big Brother right there, mate.
Yeah, as he was coming down the straight, his time started dropping. Yeah, it's a bit.
Well, that's we'll see what that does in the race because clearly he's going to take pole position. So.
Oh yeah, he's struggling now. He's struggling now.
We'll see what happens because if you look at the drivers behind, we've got 12 drivers in the 202s basically.
Yeah.
And you've got the likes of Bruce Hopkins, Kevin Forrest, Mark Stevens, Stefan Buckley, Mike Dearlove, Ollie in P12 as well. So Peter LaFrance in P13. Everyone is very, very close. So we might have like a really, really amazing truly train. The first few laps. We just got to hope that.
What did I give ballast to then? Because what's the name saying if give ballast wrong? You do ballast, car number, then the weight. David, don't you? That's what I did. Now car 50 has 36 kilos up. No, I've put 30. I did ballast 36.50, which is car 36 receives 50 kilos of ballast. That's what the administration manual states. You do ballast, car number, then the weight. So that should be okay. Yeah. That will upset him in the race, because his tyres will burn quicker. He's trying to wind me up. Thanks for that, David. Sorry, Jonathan. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So I was just trying to...
I'm just trying to I'm taking it all in because this has got, we've got some really, really great possibilities here because if we have nobbled in properly, then
he's midfield.
It's going to be like a big train of traffic, isn't it?
That's what we want, isn't it?
It really could be. Yeah, I know. Oh, it is. I mean, that run from Spoon down to 130R is going to be colossal, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. So the only person on track who's going quicker at the moment is Martin Bailey, and this lap could put him up onto the third place. This is close. This. No, it's not a new toy, Terry Howard. I knew about the ballast and I knew about the restrictor. I've talked about this before as well, about people who seem to be running away in a certain group. You can't do it to each other. Just so you're aware. You've got to log in as administrator.
And I think Johan really he's gone pretty much as fast as he can,
yeah.
you know. Well, you know, coming into the chicane, he's 2.2 ahead now.
He is, yeah. He's just gained a little bit.
And he's lost some of it. He's still got a 1/10 of a second.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be enough pole position.
Yeah.
He's trying so hard. He's got 2/10. That's a great lap. That really is.
Yeah. Yeah, he's another one that I might be putting ballast on in the next race. Give him a 50 kilo weight.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair on Johan, though, I think he's a lot better in qualifying than he is in the race. He's a little bit like me, right? He's a hot lapper. So I try and make sure that, you know, I'm getting really good, you know, track position, because it's so difficult to overtake, right? And,
yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, and he's not leading the championship either, is he?
Yeah. Rainer Berger did a cracking lap. 3rd place.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing. P3.
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't over, this. This isn't over. I think we've got Moses sorted here. He's 1.5 seconds down on his lap times now.
Good. Job done. High five.
No, you can't. Just for those wondering, the administrator password's controlled by the server. We set it, and you've got to log into the server with the password in order for you to control the cars. So, yeah, it's not straightforward. And I do change it regularly as well, just in case somebody does learn it. Right, I think that might be the intro. Back in a sec, guys. To the track. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the server to switch over. I think he's acknowledged Chris Moses that the speed and that, so I think the ballast is the right move to make on him there. Yeah, the stream is 1080p. I can't get it any different for some reason. I've already mentioned 4K is not working through eSeniors, so even though I did all the testing this morning, it didn't seem to have any impact. So let's see where this goes. I'm still waiting for the server to move over. And then I'll switch back to the race and I'll do a grid walk as well. So. Okay, so we'll do a quick grid walk. In pole position, the new guy Chris Moses will be Group 1. Don't worry, he won't be racing regularly. And I will ensure that he's nobbled each race he attends. Johan Larsson in the McLaren, a bit too quick there. Rainer Berger in the BMW. We've then got a Ferrari of Marco Loschgadin, Mark Stevens in the Lexus. We've then got Bentley of Bruce Hopkins. Bruce Hopkins with a cracking qualification there. Martin Bailey behind him, Kev Forrest behind him. So you can now see there's a suite of BMWs. We've then got Stefan Buckley in the number 73, Mike Dearlove in the blue number 2. We've then got Peter David, who's in the Aston Martin, and Ollie Lenortner, who's also in a Lexus. We've then got another a couple of BMWs of Peter LaFrance and Melvin Garland. We've then got first of the Audis, which is Kai Schaefer, and then Uwe Tholin in a BMW. We've then got a McLaren of Andrew Ambrose and Hugo Caballero in a BMW. We then have another one of the Audis, which is Lee Ellis and Danny Britos in the McLaren. Jeremy Arabas in the McLaren. Jaime Goddard, he was qualifying really well before as well. Frank Tennant in the Rust-eze Bentley. We then have Don Queen in the Audi. We then have Richard Colombe in the Ferrari. Dimitri Stathis in the Audi. We have Porsche number 916 of Richard McKay. Aaron Shannon in the Bentley. And then up at the back we've got James Parks. So that's where we're up to. Hopefully we'll get through the corners without any incidents.
Yeah, no kidding. You know, the start of the race on Monday, we had that practice race. We had, like, I think row 2 through 5, we were 3 abreast. So we actually had 2 rows that were 3 abreast entering turn 1. I was in the middle of that second row, managed to get through, but that first row was a mess. So we'll see what happens here. It's very, very difficult to say no to a gap in front of you, right? And yeah, this is going to be exciting. Hopefully not as exciting as it was a couple of weeks ago at Spa, right?
You brought that up, not me. And guess which track it is this week? Spa.
That's right. Hey.
Well, let's. Oh, Moses there, just going a little bit eager-eyed onto the curbing in the grass. That curb's my nemesis. Yeah, I think if he's been nobbled enough, this will make him. This will make it more even for him, and I think that gives me an indication on what we can do with the likes of Johan as well. I mean, Johan claims that he's not been finishing first, but he's obviously quick when he's running. This is going to take some doing this, going down this grid, because it's absolutely huge. 29 cars are on track, and the lights have now gone green. So anything could happen here. So Chris has made a good start, which you'd expect, but so has Rayner in the BMW. Great start in the BMW. Very close round there. So far, so good. So far, so good there. Looking good. Further down, there has been contact. Further back, but they do look like taps. And as this stands, no one appears to have lost out a little bit there. So far, so good. Yeah, still coming round that corner behind. Wow. Not looking bad at all, that. Oh, Chris Moses disappeared already. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. Yeah. I mean, I've nobbled him. I've put a restrictor on him. I've put weight on him. And he's just disappearing. We'll see.
Everyone's playing nice right now, aren't they?
I know. I mean, there's a lovely battle here. Look at this. Stream of cars. And everyone is adhering to let's not rush on corner 1. Let's not outbrake each other. Everyone's going for it because this corner's nasty if you get it wrong. This hairpin here. Everyone looks compliant. There's Jeremy on the inside. Hugo going around the outside. Yeah. Wow. Bit of contact at the back. Oh, let's have a look at what's happened there. So that's Dimitri and James. So Dimitri... Oh, James. I thought James had hit him then. So Dimitri's coming round. No problem there. It was the next corner into the hairpin that caused the problem. James is looking very quick. He's broke late. He's broke late. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And before the end of the first lap, Chris is already 2 seconds ahead.
I've seen that, yeah. We've still got the battle. The battle will carry on further down the track. I mean, Chris's result won't count. So, you know, the winners will be from P2 onwards, and I'll make a point of doing that. So the race is going to be held from P2 if Chris Moses stays out. I'll tell you what, Berger's done a cracking start, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Mike Dearlove's gone into the pits. So what's gone on there? Oh, no, don't hit that. Oh, dear. That's the curb. My nemesis. That's what happens to me. Oh, he looked like he sped in the pits there as well. Oh, dear. I think he's going to be getting a drive-through. Is Mr. Dearlove. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, that's unfortunate, that. So he got over-rotation, and he just lost a bit of balance on the car.
I thought it was actually pretty good aim on his part.
It was. He got in there. He hit the barrier, unfortunately, as well, so...
I think who did that a few races ago? I think David Gerard might have done that at Alton Park in one of his practice races. I remember seeing it on his channel. It was pretty good.
And got away with it.
He got away with it, yeah. I mean, he made fun of himself, which was really, really cool, you know.
It looks like he got away with that. It looks like he managed to get the car stopped as well. There's no drive-through given to him, which is, at least that's a small positive.
So I'm looking at Chris's top speed. So as he approaches 130R, this is in miles per hour. When he gets to the 50-meter board, he hits 157 miles an hour. And Rainier
should be
not
similar.
Even close to that.
Really?
Yeah, not even close.
I mean, that's
So
not that's.
Let's look at the end of the main straight now.
Great
So
pass there,
Chris,
Andrew Ambrose on Kai. Sorry, great pass.
Chris at the end of the main straight, when he hits the brakes, 161 miles an hour.
Okay. Shaguar 815. Go 711. Who are you supporting then? 711. Oh, Marco. I couldn't deflate his tyres, Nick, because I'd love to. As far as we were, David, ballast and restrictor stays. Oh, yeah,
the other odd thing is, you know, he's in the Merc. No one else is in a Merc, so it's difficult for me to make a comparison with that top speed.
Yeah. I think on the straight I can get into, I think I'm at 159, 160 in the BMW. So 161 doesn't seem, you know, it's just entrance to the corner, isn't it? This is a good little battle, these three BMWs. A little bit of a twitch there with Kev Forrest. There's a few little battles. I'm going to go to... oh, there's a few cars together, but they've all just split up a little bit. Stefan Buckley's putting a lot of pressure on Kev Forrest here. Stefan in the yellow and blue car in the background. And you can see Kev's getting a bit wayward there. Bit of a oversteer. And
Larson is going for
Larson's
Berger.
going for the inside.
Oh, that's not a fun place to overtake. Oh, so how did they manage to not touch?
So Mike Dearlove did get a stop and go. He's just cleared it. So he did get a pit lane speeding, which I thought he would.
So Larson got him into the chicane there.
He did, yeah.
It's so hard to do that. I was actually thinking about that yesterday. You know, how do you get through 130R side by side? Because normally the guy on the inside is the one who has to lift off. And because if you remember Fernando Alonso passing Michael Schumacher that one time, Fernando was on the outside, and the guy on the inside, you know, you have to brake, otherwise you're just gonna, you know, crash at that corner basically. But somehow they managed to get, you know, through the corner side by side.
I thought that. I mean, they seemed to go round, and I was half waiting for the touch and one of them to take off, but they didn't, did they? And Stefan has passed Kevin. Oh, and Kevin's got a bit twitchy there. That's how Stefan got him. So we said before, Kevin's car looked a bit twitchy in the bends, and we've obviously just seen that. And Peter David's now putting pressure on Kevin as well. So Peter in the Aston Martin's having a great race here. There's a few other battles on the track as well, which we'll go down to when we just see where if this one concludes. I think Peter gained actually because Kevin made that mistake. So I'm going to go down back to the back. So Jeremy's getting pressure from Hugo in the BMW. So Jeremy, as we know, is in the McLaren. And Hugo is being followed by a Ferrari and a McLaren of Andy Goddard. I think it is Jaime Goddard.
Oh, Peter LaFrance just spun out.
Yeah, Peter's
coming out of the hairpin.
Yeah, Peter's just getting going again. And he's just been passed by a couple of cars. So Kai's up into 14th
he's going
place.
off again. And now he's spun it. He's going across the track.
Yeah, he's going to be receiving damage there. Receiving damage.
I think he might have got some damage in that initial contact with the inside wall.
Yeah, Spoon as well. That's a difficult place to rejoin. He's going to have to take it wide to rejoin safely. That's going to lose him place after place after place. And there you go. He's now going to rejoin, but he's rejoining right at the back. Dimitri and James are both in the pits. I think their race is done as a result of that contact early on. I'm going to jump back to Andy Goddard. Jaime. He's putting pressure on the Ferrari. And Marco has gone off. Oh, what a place to go off. Oh, a couple of cars could be in trouble. Oh, don't go against the traffic. Oh. Yeah, I saw Kev Forrest going off as well, so he's lost it a bit. Oh dear, that's not really where you want to stop, is it? And he's lost a lot of places. And Kev Forrest has tumbled. So on that, if we just go back, you'll see what happened. So when the car spun, if I go to Marco first, he spins into the... and he stops dead on the straight. But you can see the cars are going wide onto the track. And you can see Kev Forrest really struggles with it. Doesn't hit the barrier and just gets back on again. Oof, very lucky there with that. It could have really gone pear-shaped for him into the wall there. But as it happened, he got away with that one. So very lucky indeed. But unfortunate there. Richard's really struggling as well now, isn't he? Richard's up and running again, but he's lost a lot of ground. So Kai's putting pressure on Andrew Ambrose. So I think Ambrose passed Kai before, but Kai's now got the Audi back up to speed. And he's looking to...
I've got a really tasty battle with Stefan trying to get inside Martin Bailey, and he's done it.
He's took him, yeah. Has he?
Oh, maybe not. He's fighting back, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not giving in. It's a right-hander going into a left-hander.
Oh, yeah.
He's got him. Nice he's kept it. Martin. He's kept it. Oh, Stefan's going up the inside. And Martin's got the better angle there, though. Well, no, Stefan's got the drive. Now, Martin got the drive as well. Oh, look at that. He's going to get... Is he going to get a good enough tow? Yeah, I don't want to be passing that late on. He'll never stick. Yeah, so Martin lives to fight another day. Andrew Ambrose is putting pressure on Melvin. Melvin into the top 10. All braking well. Melvin's gone a bit deep there. That advantage, Ambrose. That brings Kai into play now, though. So can Kai get a run? And meanwhile, Melvin disappears a little bit. So Melvin's got great power coming out that corner. It's a good little battle.
Yeah, there's battles all the way down the field, mate.
Yeah, I know. The problem is I can only review one at a time. And it's not like, because Suzuka's a DLC, I don't have Suzuka on me on my laptop, so I can't do the split screen, unfortunately. So Marco's managed to pass Andy Goddard in the Ferrari, so Marco's up and running again. I'm going to go back to this battle. This is where the fun is at the moment, where you've got Melvin, you've got Andrew, you've got Kai, and Uwe has now joined the party, so in the BMW at the back. So this is a BMW sandwich. First person to make a mistake, and Uwe's gone a bit wide there, but luckily stayed on the green rather than the grass. Yeah, the McLaren's looking great coming out the corners, isn't it?
Oh dear, Stefan.
Oh,
Stefan just missed his braking on Martin Bailey, and he dove down the inside. There's nothing he can do. He spun it, and now he's lost a ton of places.
Yeah, there was contact with Martin Bailey as well by the looks of it. It's recorded as contact, so I don't know how severe it was. Stefan's coming down there, you can see now, the 73 against the 316. Stefan in the 73. Oh yeah, he's very late under braking. He's tried to correct it, hasn't he? Yeah, it was never going to happen, that was it. Oh, and he picks up Kevin Forrest as well for his duties. At least he's managed to do a safe rejoin, and that battle is still going on with Uwe and that. So Uwe's now going on the outside of Kai. Oh, I thought Kai was going to come over on him then, and they were going to make contact and send one of them into the wall. But no, they've managed to survive. Yeah, there's battles everywhere. I mean, you've got Frank and Don Queen here with Andy Goddard. So, oh, what's happened there? We're done. Wow! What was that? What happened then? Don's completely got it wrong, but he's collected Goddard and put Goddard off track. Wow.
Andy Ambrose on Melvin is really spicy as well. I mean, they're side by side going up the S's.
I've just switched to that now. Yeah, that was an interesting one then with Don. He just seemed to like completely miss his braking point. He's knocked Andy Goddard down.
That looked like an episode of Come Dancing, didn't it? It was an orchestrated bunch of spinning. That was brilliant. In pink as well.
I know. Melvin just got to grips. Oh, bit of a twitch there from Ambrose. And it's allowed Kai to push back up. And we've now got Stefan at the back of this party now. Obviously, Stefan, who's now recovered, has joined this party. Who's going to have to pass further cars. There's a nice bunch of cars here. Just keeping together. Yes, this is where the battle's at. This is the closest battle. And Kev Forrest is now putting pressure on Martin Bailey again. So even though Kev got knocked before in the hairpin by Stefan, I'm wondering whether Martin's struggling actually. Because there was contact with Martin, but I didn't think it was severe. It didn't look too severe. But now it's looking like, I wonder if Martin's struggling a little bit.
But yeah, it looked like he had left rear damage.
Yeah, Peter David's having a great race. He's in 6th place at the moment, Peter. Bruce Hopkins is... I'm seeing Bruce Hopkins is going slow, but yeah, he's not. So, yeah. They're passing Peter LaFrance now. So Kev Forrest is still putting pressure on Martin. Coming down. He's never going to catch him there. Let's jump back. Stefan's now putting pressure on Lee Ellis. So Lee Ellis is in an Audi. Is Stefan going to make a pass? Again, I don't think Stefan will have received too much damage in that impact because it was more of a side impact rather than a head-on impact.
Yeah, and Melvin is he's kind of leading this. It is a truly train of like 6 or 7 cars, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to jump to the back a little bit more. Danny Britos is trying to make a move on Frank Tennant. And you can see Don now coming back a little bit there in the BWT Audi. All right, Wooly Pie, Don. Well done, mate, for your race yesterday. Great qualifying and great race that. Managed to hold it together just for the end, so well done there, mate. Yeah, Marco's now putting pressure on Hugo Caballero. Andrew's still putting pressure on Melvin, so I'm going to jump forward a little bit. This battle. So Hugo's in the 444 car and Marco's in the and he's got his indicator on. He's got a good
it's nice that he's using his indicators.
It is, yeah. Pity he's
using it. It is part of the highway code.
Yeah, but he was using his right indicator to turn left. Hi, Mike.
Whoa. Kai had to take avoiding action.
Uwe
is inside now, yeah.
Kai's gone wide. Really there's a couple of cars. There's 2 Audis together now. Look at this. Great shot. Look at that. Stefan's looking tasty as well behind. Great little battle this. All getting the braking point spot on as well. And Ollie's joining the party in the Lexus. He's thinking I can have some of that.
Yeah,
ooh, look at that Lee then. The way the drive Lee got out of that corner. Phenomenal.
Yeah, you know, the pressure is really on Melvin here because, you know, he's holding up a lot of folks, basically.
That was a great bit of power from Lee Ellis, the way he come out of that corner then. He got a cracking drive. He passed Kai halfway down the straight. And he's now hunting down Uwe. Let's look up forward a little bit further. I will keep jumping back, don't worry. Stefan's putting pressure on Kai as well. And Danny's putting pressure on Frank. There seems to be these little micro battles occurring now. seems to be.
And meanwhile, Chris is he's less than 6 seconds ahead of.
Yeah, I think
Johan.
I think the tyres are starting to come into play a little bit now. 27 minutes to go, and if he's running a lot of ballast, and restrictor will be pushing the car. We'll see where it goes anyway. I mean, Rayner's not managing to wheel Johan in, so the top 3 is looking like the top 3, but obviously we're not going to take the first place car.
Yeah, at least it's not interfering in everybody else's race.
Although, he went wide then, actually. Just gone to him, he went wide a little bit. I'll tell you what, though, he's going to make a great Group 1 driver, isn't he?
As if we need another great Group 1 driver.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, it's for sure, you know, the more the merrier. And if we can get, you know, 50 years older drivers who are like this good, then it's going to be good for the league, for sure.
Ollie's just made a mistake coming out of Spoon. Got himself on the grass. And has lost a couple of places now, whereas before he was attacking. So Lee Ellis is still putting pressure on the BMW. Is he going to get the same sort of drive as he got before? No, he's not. I'm going to go towards the back to Richard McKay. So Richard is now trying to put pressure on the other Richard Columbe. So let's see how this goes. Ferrari's quite nippy on the straight, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, I tell you what, the motor in that Audi sounds freaking fantastic, doesn't it?
Oh, and there's been contact between these two drivers. A registered contact between Don and Danny, so maybe that was just a bit of door bashing. I mean, that'll all be recorded for the stewards anyway, so they'll investigate that, but there's no one off the track, so I don't think it was too severe, unless Don's made a dive up the inside and made contact that way. Right, I'm going to jump back to Andrew Ambrose, who's trying to make headway on Melvin now. So he's going for the wide to see if he can cut up the inside, is he? And get a good run. No, Melvin just gets the BMW round that corner brilliantly. And it doesn't look like he can make any headway on Melvin at all. So Melvin's the cork in the bottle, isn't he?
He is, but you know what? He's just driving really beautifully. You know?
He's very consistent, isn't he?
So smooth, super consistent. And it's just very, very hard to get by the guy, you know, when you're like that. I mean, I'm looking in his mirrors right now. I can see like 4 cars behind me.
Yeah, there's
so
6 on the.
Just don't look in your mirrors, Melvin. Don't look in the mirrors because they're all riding up your backside.
I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars behind him at the moment. The last one in that bunch is Stefan. He's looking. I mean, that McLaren under braking's brilliant. But the BMW just gets the power down better. Look, he just pulls away.
Yep.
McLaren can't
got
touch
it in
him.
The zone, you know.
Yeah.
This car definitely agrees with him, and he's probably using a very similar setup that he does everywhere. So you know, I do the same, and you know, it seems to work.
There's all hell breaking loose here.
Everywhere.
There's all hell breaking loose here with Don and Danny.
It's a great track, isn't it?
It is. It adds something because it is difficult to pass on as well.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, one of the greats. You know, it was introduced in Formula One for the first time, I believe, in 1987, and we've been there almost every year. There was a couple of years where it was replaced by other circuits, but you know, this is like an epic track. And you ask any F1 driver, you know, what's your favorite circuit or your top 3, and this is going to be there every time.
Well, Lee Ellis has made a mistake and lost out to Kai and Stefan. Stefan wants to be careful he doesn't go off track there, so he's lost a bit of space there. I'm going to jump back to Andrew. Oh, that makes me think Stefan caused an issue there. Stefan's let him go again. So maybe Stefan caused the off. It's very gentlemanly anyway, given the position back there. Martin Bailey's putting pressure on Peter David. Stefan's the man on the mission at the moment. Oh, and we've had a spinner. Ambrose gone. What happened to him? Oh, he's got it. Now Spoon. So he's lost a couple of places out of Spoon. He's fortunate enough he didn't hit the wall, so he got away with that one, I think.
Yeah, he did. He's currently sitting in 12th. He's got Lee right on his tail now.
Yeah. And Stefan's just behind Lee. So is that an indicator the tyres are starting to go? That gap at the front isn't changing. Rain is closing in on Johan now. He's within a second. Now Martin Bailey has passed Peter. So Martin's now up to 6th place. And Uwe's having a look. Sorry, Kev Forrester's having a look at Peter now as well. So are these tyres starting to go off, do you think? The fact that we've got quite a few cars.
I don't know. For sure, Stefan's tyres aren't going off.
No, I was going to say he's fighting with Lee, isn't he?
He's fighting with Lee, and there was no sliding going on there whatsoever. It's great watching some of these guys racing. Both of these guys, they race each other almost every night. We're always chatting in Discord, and we're all buddies, and it's just brilliant to see like such close racing. I know they're both smiling in their cockpits for sure.
Marco's putting pressure on Hugo now. He's made his recovery from the spin on the straight. He started to come back up the field slowly but surely as well as a result of that. Stefan definitely looks quicker than Lee, but he's just tried to get the passing point, hasn't he?
Yeah, Stefan, it's like every lap, and we saw him get past Martin initially going into the hairpin, and you can see he's very, very strong there. But at the same time, if you miss your braking by literally a foot or two, you go straight on. But that's where he's going to do it, I think.
So we've got 2 BMWs and an Aston Martin here, and Peter David's in the middle, and that's Kevin Forrest behind. This battle isn't done yet. So Martin Bailey hasn't managed to pull away. It was a great corner by Peter there. And he's just going to free himself up from Kev Forrest a little bit there. Peter's having a great race, to be fair. This opportunity to thank our sponsors. Oh, and that's Stefan taking the taking the shortcut.
Taking the center escape road.
No, I'm calling that the Mark Christopher because he did it in front of me in the Porsche the other day. Gained a second and a half. So I'm calling out the Mark Christopher. So yeah, just take this opportunity to thank our sponsors. Syndeo, syndeo.world, PWS, preciouswashers.co.uk and Aqua Green. And obviously thanks to everyone who donates to us. Without all that, we couldn't carry on providing you the service we provide you, so a big shout out. If you're after any merchandise, please visit the shop, which is advertised on the homepage of the website. Thank you. Peter's not giving up, Even though he's been passed, he is not giving up. Oh, that was close. Whoa. That was very close. I thought he was going to punt him into the sand then.
I'll tell you what, Kai and Uwe are having a ding-dong. Oh. They have been for the last 20 minutes.
Stefan's pulled over. Stefan stopped. Oh. Marco was behind him and he just pulled over out of the way. That's a bit, hope everything's alright. I mean, he's got off the track safely, but he's not escaped to the pits. I mean, luckily that's not in a contact point. But yeah, that's a bit,
he's just sitting there.
Interesting.
Oh, no, he's back on the gas now.
Yeah, he's just going again. Oh.
Maybe he just needed to have a bite of some ice cream. I don't know. You know how much he likes his ice cream as Stefan.
So we're on board with Richard, who's in the 916, and Richard's putting pressure on Danny. Although that, yeah, he's looking really, really quick there, isn't he? Oh, Danny's gone wide. Are we going to start seeing track limit warnings coming up now? And people start to pay the price. Danny's gone very deep there. But unfortunately, it's also caused the Porsche to go off track a little bit. I still think the Porsche is going to get him here. There's been contact, Uwe Tholen and Kai. I will go to... Yeah, he's made the pass. I'm going to go to Kai and go into a 30-second replay to see if we can capture what went on. So Kai's coming up behind Uwe.
Rich just made a Kimi Räikkönen-like pass on Danny. Danny was Fisichella that time. Amazing pass.
Kai made the move there, unfortunately lost out. I think... yeah, Kai lost out there on that one. I think he went for the dive up the inside. Well, not the dive, he went up for the move on the inside. I don't think his car rotated enough. I don't think it was turning enough on him. So I think it caused him to lose a bit of space. And so Don's now putting pressure on Frank Tennant. So Frank Tennant will be looking in his mirrors and seeing the big pink and white BWT Audi of Don. In the kapow! Lightning McQueen Bentley. There's another trail of cars behind them. As you can see, Danny Britos is still in front. Stefan Buckley's called it a day. He's gone to the pits. So Don very late under braking there, but managed to avoid contact. Yeah, so that battle's materialising well. Richard's putting pressure on Danny now. Oh! Andy Goddard just went off then. He just went straight off track, didn't he? I mean, he didn't hit the barrier, but he went very, very wide off track there.
Yeah, well, we're what, half an hour in, and it starts to get tired. I mean, I started to get tired after like 20 minutes or so. And this track, it's just continuous corner after corner after corner. You got one main straight.
I like Peter's team name. Lessons or several error recalls. Loser. I like that. Team loser. Don has gone for it. Oh, I could see that coming. Synchronised drifting there. Could see that coming. Unfortunate that. Safe rejoins though, guys. Really good safe rejoins that. Could have been a lot worse. So Don's managed to carry on, and he's catching up to Kai now. So if Kai was to look, Kai's catching up to Jeremy. Well, Jeremy in the
So in a
McLaren.
situation like that, would Frank get a penalty? He hit Don from behind.
In that instance, that will probably be given as a racing incident, because no driver's lost out. And I mean, if he'd done something that was rash, like got his braking point completely wrong, he'd receive probably a warning for it. But if he'd have hit Don and sent Don into the barrier and waited, and then Don recovered, he'd probably still get a penalty, because that'd be if there's car damage and it's nobbled Don's car,
yeah, he
would receive probably a penalty for that. But in that example there, because nobody lost out per se, even though Don lost a bit of time from him up front, that will probably go down as a racing incident. But the stewards will have it recorded and they'll look into it. They may see that Frank could have broke, and if Frank could have broke and it looks like Frank wasn't braking in his normal braking area, well, that could easily be causing a collision as well. So it's down to, you can't really see just from one angle. You've got to go back and watch lap after lap to see if that's where he normally brakes. Kai was very quick through there, but he just lost it a bit. I'm just going to go back a little bit further back. And Andy Goddard's back up against Richard again. Hi, I'm Justin B.
Justin Bieber?
Justin B says.
Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Bieber just joined the chat.
Aaron Shannon's just gone off, so he's getting back up to speed again. Yeah, Kai's looking very quick on Jeremy. Are we going to see Jeremy yield, or is Kai going to get him fairly? Because sometimes Jeremy gives the pressure, doesn't he, and just lets the driver go. Or is he going to make that McLaren monstrous and make it as wide as he can? Marco still not managed to pass Hugo.
I want to see a really wide Jeremy. That's what I want to see.
Tell you, Peter's not give up on Martin, you know. He's still there. Martin's got the mirrors full of it. And Melvin has got this view in his mirror as well. That's still going on. So Melvin's still holding on to 9th place. And he'll be happy with that, Melvin. So Don Queen's also now looking in the rear of Richard. Listen to that engine. Unbelievable. Great noise. Oh yeah, Richard's looking really quick in the Porsche.
Yeah, he's very fast. And I mean, he made mincemeat out of Danny, and Danny has a very, very wide car indeed.
Yeah.
So I think he should get by Don pretty quickly.
He needs that run though, and as you've just seen then, the straight, the Audi just seemed to have a bit of... Oh, there you go. He's just over-rotated it. He hit the curb. This is the tyres going off. 11 minutes to go, and I think his tyres were screaming too much there. Oh yeah, he's really struggling now.
Kai's having a go at Jeremy down into turn 1. Didn't quite do it.
Yeah, he's very close with Jeremy though, isn't he? And you can see there just how close it's looking. Hugo's caught up to Lee Ellis, and Marco's caught up to Hugo, so there's another battle materialising just in front of these guys. I'm going to keep an eye on that one. In fact, I'm going to switch to that one because Marco's very close indeed. Kai's still putting pressure. Richard and Andy Goddard are very close and putting pressure on Danny Britos as well. Yeah, so they're all ganging up on Lee Ellis now by the looks of it. But Lee Ellis is in the front of this little train. Right, I'm going to jump to the front because this is the view from Johan's car. Rayner has reeled him in. And now Rayner's looking good. So let's just sit with this one for a little bit. So you can see there, Rayner's looking really, really good now.
Yeah, I think, it's a bit of a case of, I think Rayner is getting the grips now with the BMW, because if you remember when he was in the Ferrari, he was a lot further up the grid than he has been of late in the BM. So I think this is him really getting the grips with this car now, finally.
I don't know in Group 2. He raced the BMW in Group 2, because I remember racing with him. And he was really quick. But for some reason, I think the 1.8 update obliterated him. Because he went from, pushing me and Mark Christopher every race to, well, as you can see, I mean, he qualified well today, but in previous weeks, he's either not been racing or he's not been qualifying, high up. But this is like the Rayner that I know was racing. Really quick and really putting it about. I mean, he's putting pressure on Johan here. Significant pressure. Now, Johan's not had that for the full race. And this late on, all of a sudden you start getting pressure. Do you start thinking mentally different and think, I'm going to make a mistake here? And you don't want to make a mistake. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, no, yeah. Inevitably, you start driving a little bit slower. Just so that you hit every apex and get every exit. Because if you don't, if you start really pushing, maybe he's pushing because you know what, he just went on the grass a little bit. I know. Did Johan? So, but he's getting a good exits out of all of these corners. I mean,
yeah.
He just took a perfect spoon.
I mean, he's a second and a half down again now though. So after getting back up to the back of him. Oh, so Stefan's just said in the point, not in the points race this season, decided to pull off. My ABS motor fell off when I smacked Martin. I hope that didn't cost him. That must be something on his brake pedals, I presume. That's caused him a problem. Martin carried on, Stefan. But kudos for you bailing due to equipment. That's very respectful, that. Right. I was going to say, Kai's catching Jeremy, but then I realised he was off track. He lost a second going off track. But Jeremy lives to fight another day. We've got 7 minutes left to go. Right, and this battle is still going on.
Can we see any lap times, Mark? I'm just interested to see what kind of times these guys are doing compared to what they were doing yesterday, and what we can expect tomorrow.
I'm just trying to look now if I can find what the lap times are. It's not really going to show us that, unfortunately. I can show you the personal best, but that's not going to help us. I can't really show you what the current lap times are. I'm just looking now. Let me look. No, I can't show you what the current laps are, unfortunately. I mean, you can pick a driver. I can put the split on the screen. But we're currently on board with Hugo. So you can see Hugo's times doing a 2:04.4. That was his last lap. If I go to Chris did a 2:03.4, so he's a second quicker. Johan's last lap was a 2:04.2. Rayner's was a 2:04.9. Mark Stevens was a 2:04.3. But the fastest is Chris Moses at the moment, but most drivers are still managing to do 2:04s. I'm going to jump to Andrew Ambrose. So Andrew Ambrose's last lap was a 2:04.6. But yeah, the times are very, very similar. So I'd expect the group 1 guys to be doing 2:03s, 2:02s, 2:03s tomorrow, this late on.
Yep.
They're in thereabouts, I reckon. Just seems to have settled down a bit now. The race, I think it's almost like everyone's going for the glory of where they are. So just to reiterate, although Chris Moses is leading the race, he will not be getting classified in this race for obvious reasons. He's a bit too quick, even with all the ballast, so he won't be allowed to race with Group 2 again. And if he wants to race, he'll have to race with Group 1.
Melvin is still under extreme pressure from Uwe. He's half a second down on him.
Not giving up at all, is it?
He's not giving up, but it's like he can't make inroads, can he?
And you can see Ambrose sat there as well in the McLaren. One mistake from Melvin. I mean, Melvin is, I think Nikos put in the chat before, Melvin is a robot. He just gets into such a rhythm. It's why he's very difficult to race against Melvin, because when I've raced against him, because he's in such a rhythm, you're not going to get a mistake out of him. Plus, he's fast where you don't want him to be fast lap in, lap out. You know what I mean? He becomes very difficult to pass.
In fact, let's watch him from Uwe's car for just a moment, because if you look at, I mean, I want to hit a commentator's curse here, but it's just interesting to see, how he does hit every single apex, right? Like right now, he's heading down into the hairpin. And he's taking a defensive line into the hairpin, which is very defensive, which is going to compromise his exit. But now this is flat out.
See, I don't think
shouldn't have any issues here.
See, I don't think that compromises exit, because Uwe's had to brake later, and therefore Uwe's car's still slowing down when Melvin's putting the power down. So I think that defence is working to his favour, and you can see now Uwe's got the McLaren behind him as well.
Yeah. Andy actually almost hit him.
Yeah. So look at the gap now.
This is an interesting corner as well. I've seen different drivers taking different tactics going into 130R. For me, it's just a light lift at the 50-meter board. What does it look like for you, Mark?
I come up to there. I just after the 50, I lift, start turning in, and as soon as I start turning, I put the power on again.
Yep.
I can get through there at 150 mile an hour. That's the fastest I've done it at. Normally it's about 146. Yeah, Melvin's not moving, is he? He's so static on the track.
Yeah, so let's watch him going through the S's. So going into turn 1, perfect line there.
But he's got the power down already.
There, but he's got the power down, yeah. And this is really difficult. This sequence of corners is so difficult to hit every apex. So he's got that apex. He's got that one beautifully. Got that one really nicely. And this is the difficult one right here, because you want to get on the power as early as possible.
But he's hugging it well. He's hugged it well.
Yeah, he's got it beautifully. And once again here, right on the apex.
Yeah.
bang on the gas. You can't fault the guy, man. He's perfect. He's. I wouldn't call him a robot. That's not. I would say that's unkind. I think he's like the professor, isn't he?
He's disciplined.
Got it down.
He's disciplined.
Very, very disciplined.
And if you're behind him, you don't even know where you can pass.
Well, you can't. You can't.
Whoa!
Whoa, Andy.
And he's off. He's off.
He got speared completely off the track, and he's lost like 3 or 4 places right there.
We've got 1 minute to go, and yeah, I think the weight did affect Chris, but I do think he probably could have gone faster.
Yeah, we hobbled him by at least 1.5 seconds, I think.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see where he goes in Group 1 with your Andreas, you know, yourselves, your Chris's, and all the other, you know, the other fast guys. I think that'd be telling.
God, need to get faster again, mate.
I know. Hard enough, isn't it?
It's very hard. It's very hard.
See, Melvin's made good inroads here now. So
let's get some votes in for driver of the day, guys.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Driver of the day.
Who am I voting for?
Who are you voting for?
Melvin.
Yeah, he's done.
It might be P9, but up until right now, he's had a really, really just brilliantly disciplined race.
And he's just managed to put a bit of space between him and now, hasn't he, as well? So yeah, there is quite a delay on the chat, so I don't know if we'll get it through before the end of the race, but. Yeah, I think driver of the day as well. Melvin's done really well. I think Peter David's done extremely well as well, to be fair. Peter David's, you know, he's in 7th place. He's had a great race. Bruce Hopkins has had a good race. Mark Stevens, Rainer Berger. You know, there's a lot we can shout out on that grid who've done well. Hugo Caballero's been fantastic. Yeah, they're all saying Peter David. US honour, Peter David. Yeah, I said Peter, so I think we'll probably go with Peter because, to me, he's done extremely well. You know, he's battled. He's been so clean. So we're going with yeah. I think I said Bruce as well. I think we'll go with Peter.
Sounds fair.
Now, I did thought I was going to have driver of the day popping up on the screen, but for some reason, it's not working. So yeah, I'll get rid of that. Obviously, something wrong with the database of Peter David. There's something wrong. So race is finished. 2nd place, Johan, and then there's Rainer in 3rd place. Mark Stevens is coming round to claim 4th place. Bruce Hopkins coming over. Martin Bailey making it into 6th place, closely followed by Peter. But that's how well Peter's done. So Peter David's the driver of the day. Great racing. Great racing from start to finish there with Peter. Kev Forrest had a good result in the end as well. And then look at the train of cars Melvin's got behind him. Look at that. That's hilarious. And then Hugo.
I think everyone's going to be very happy with this race, though. It's like, you know, there wasn't too much damage done, not too many mistakes. You know, people recovered after little skirmishes.
There comes Jeremy.
Good stuff. What a great race.
And then we've got a bit of a gap between Jeremy and Don, who's coming through the last section. And then Andy Goddard behind him. Richard Cullen behind him. And then you can see Richard McKay coming round in the Porsche. And then Danny Britos in the McLaren towards the back. And then we've got Frank Tennant in the Lightning McQueen Kapow Bentley. Well done, Frank. All things considered, great race, my friend. Well done. Aaron Shannon coming round in the Bentley as well. So 27 cars finished the race. 26 cars finished the race. Stunning.
Yeah, it's a great result, and looking forward to the Group 1 race tomorrow.
And Mike dear love. Well, thank you very much, everyone. Thanks, Mr. Wood.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for having me.
Take care, and see you on track tomorrow.